Good morning. After 2 years of virtual Freedom Awards because of the pandemic, we are back in person and we're glad about it. Thank you for joining us for our press briefing to announce the 31st Freedom Award and this year's honorees. I'm Faith Morris, Chief Marketing and External Affairs Officer here at the National Civil Rights Museum and Managing Director, Producer of Freedom Award. Today, we'll present an overview of this year's Freedom Award and answer any questions that you have after remarks. Now, Dr. Russell Wigington will announce our honorees.
Thank you, Faith, and good morning. Each year, the National Civil Rights Museum pays tribute to champions of freedom who have contributed greatly to society. Since 1991, the Freedom Award has honored distinguished individuals who have made great global and national impact. These men and women are lauded for their work in the struggle for civil and human rights. This year, we will present the Freedom Award to Taylor Branch. Taylor Branch is an author and public speaker best known for his landmark trilogy on the civil rights era. America in the King Years is the name of the trilogy. The trilogy's first book, Parting the Waters, America in the King Years 1954 to 1963, won the Pulitzer Prize and numerous other awards in 1989. Two successive volumes remained in demand decades later. Pillars of Fire, America in the King Years 1963 to 1965, and At Canaan's Edge, America in the King Years 1965 to 1968. At the age of 21, Taylor Branch played a role in civil rights politics as an elected member of the Georgia Loyalist Democrats delegation at the tumultuous 1968 Democratic National Convention in Chicago. The delegates modeled the Mississippi Freedom Democrats of 1964 and challenged the all-white delegation. Having a career rooted in journalism, Branch's recent cover story for the October 2011 issue of The Atlantic, The Shame of College Sports, touched off continuing national debate about NCAA rules that severely abridge the rights of college athletes. Branch returned to civil rights history in his latest book, The King Years, Historic Moments in the Civil Rights Movement, which was published in 2013. This short book, dedicated to, quote, students of freedom and teachers of history, end quote, introduces the era with selected excerpts from the MLK trilogy. In 2019, he won an Emmy Award as executive producer for the HBO documentary King in the Wilderness, a production about the final 3 years of Dr. King's life. This year, we will present the Freedom Award to Frederick W. Smith. Frederick W. Smith is the founder and executive chairman of FedEx Corporation, which under his leadership has become a global enterprise that serves more than 220 countries and territories. Over his nearly 50-year history leading FedEx, Smith has focused his passions on helping people acquire skills and education to access opportunity. His dedication to diversity, equity, and inclusion has carried over into the FedEx culture, creating opportunities for FedEx team members and communities in Memphis and around the world. For Smith, giving back and community service has been a personal and business imperative. Smith served 4 years in the Marines, including 2 tours of duty in Vietnam, and has served as co-chairman of both the U.S. World War II Memorial Project and the Campaign for the National Museum of the Marine Corps. Smith has served on numerous boards, including St. Jude Children's Research Hospital and the Mayo Foundation. As chair of the FedEx Corporate Contributions Committee, Smith has influenced millions in contributions to advancing inclusion, empowering economic opportunity, and encouraging learning and leadership for nonprofit organizations. FedEx has long supported civil rights museums across the country, including the National Civil Rights Museum, helping to build awareness and educational programming chronicling the American Civil Rights Movement. He recently kicked off the FedEx HBCU Student Ambassador Program for students attending historically black colleges and universities, which combine philanthropic investments with career preparedness and job opportunities. His leadership at FedEx has led to equitable opportunities for advancement for team members and a measurable boost to local and global economic vitality. As a visionary entrepreneur, his support for small business has led to training, mentoring, networking, and capital access to diverse entrepreneurs and their growth. Frederick W. Smith is a member of the Aviation Hall of Fame and the Business Hall of Fame. He was cited in Forbes' 100 Greatest Living Business Minds and has been named a top CEO by both Barron's and Chief Executive magazines. This year, we will present the Freedom Award to Isabel Wilkerson, winner of the Pulitzer Prize and the National Humanities Medal. Isabel Wilkerson is the author of the New York Times bestseller, The Warmth of Other Suns, as well as Caste, The Origins of Our Discontents. She draws a direct link between the leaderless revolution, known as the Great Migration, and the protest movements for social justice today, both responses to unacknowledged and unaddressed history. She has become an impassioned voice for demonstrating how history can help us understand ourselves, our country, and our current era of upheaval. Wilkerson won the Pulitzer Prize for her book as Chicago bureau chief of the New York Times in 1994, making her the first black woman in the history of American journalism to win a Pulitzer Prize and the first African American to win for individual reporting in the history of American journalism. Isabel Wilkerson's 2020 book, Caste, The Origins of Our Discontents, examines the unspoken caste system that has shaped America and shows how a hierarchy of social divisions still define our lives today. Wilkerson brings the past complexities to vivid life through her passionate research and her profound gift for connecting with audiences of all backgrounds. Caste is being adapted into a film by 2015 Freedom Award honoree Ava DuVernay.
So in addition to celebrating our esteemed honorees who have and are still creating life-changing blueprints for our society, we'll have a special moment to pay tribute to Jeffrey Robinson, who has produced a hit documentary on Netflix, Who We Are, a chronicle of race in America. Portions of that were filmed here at the museum, and it is an amazing piece. We're happy to have actor, editor, educator, and activist Lamont Rucker back with us as the host of Freedom Award. The Freedom Award is presented live from the Orpheum Theater. The pre-award gala is at 5:30. That's where the red carpet is, so media, plan to get your interviews on the red carpet. We'll see you early that night. The pre-show is at 7 p.m. We need folks in their seats no later than 7:15 because it is filmed live. The ceremony officially begins at 7:30 Central. As we do each year, we start the Freedom Award experience with Student Forum, which is a one-of-a-kind event and experience for our young people, our students, and our educators. This year's Student Forum is virtual to bring students and classrooms from around the nation together for this special event. One of the highlights of Student Forum is Keeper of the Dream, which is presented to outstanding youth.
As always, we thank our presenting sponsors: International Paper, FedEx Corporation, the Hyde Family Foundation, Nike, and Ford Motor Company. At this time, I'd like to ask representatives of those from either of those companies to stand so you can be recognized. Thank you so much for your support. We also thank the many corporations, organizations, and individuals who support us each year. And I certainly can't leave out our terrific board of trustees at the museum. Board members, please stand. Rose Flanoro, thank you for representing ×2. We look forward to seeing all of you at the Freedom Award on October 20th.
So also please go to FreedomAwardorg to get any information, updates about what's happening with Freedom Award this year. There's a lot there. So spend some time there between now and October 20th. And then after October 20th, we'll have an update of what happened on October 20th. Thank you, and now we can answer any questions. Yes.
Do you know if the folks are going to be here to receive the awards?
It's an in-person Freedom Award.
I mean, but if they confirm that they're all coming?
They
the
will
three
be
honorees?
here.
Okay.
Yes.
Dr. Wiggins, this is, I guess when you came, thank you, that was loud enough. When you came, of course, we were in the throes of the pandemic, and so do you feel that your time when you first came to the Civil Rights Museum, do you feel that you had time enough to prepare for the moment when the biggest event of the year, that you would actually be in person?
Well, absolutely.
Personal experience?
Yes. So I began serving in this role August 1st of 2021. And for the Freedom Award last year, it was virtual. I actually felt like I had time to prepare then because we have an amazing staff at the museum who are committed and passionate about this place and this event. So I've been here a little over a year now, and if I'm not ready by now, shame on me. So I definitely feel prepared. It's been great to have a full year to work with the staff and with our board in the comprehensive coordination of an event this special that touches not only Memphis, but the rest of our country and our world.
And just one more question. The process by which, as always, your picks are excellent. The Civil Rights Museum, the Freedom Award honorees have always been a mix of outstanding African Americans, and then allies, right? There's very little said about the process, or how many do you start with, or do you ever talk about the process by which you choose your honorees?
Thank you for the question. So the process, what I will say about the process is it is an extensive process that has been in place and done very well for many years, from the standpoint of we are always gathering potential viable candidates. So if you think about the process as not just being restricted from a year-to-year standpoint, but really thinking about and building potential candidates over time. And by doing that, that gives us the flexibility, oftentimes in conjunction to what might be happening in a given year or a given era, to make sure that we identify and choose and select and selections be accepted by candidates who are worthy, certainly over their careers, but are also particularly relevant at this given time. So I feel really good about our process. I think the history of our recipients demonstrates that we take this very seriously, and I feel excited about October 20. Yes. Russell Wigginton, RUSSELL WIGGINTON, President, National Civil Rights Museum.
Do we have any other questions? Faith Morris, Chief Marketing and External Affairs Officer and Managing Director, Producer of Freedom Award. If there are no more questions, we're done.
Thank you so much.